This is the penultimate round of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship. Welcome back to Killarney.
Presented to you by Bridgestone. On the show, we pick up on the action from the penultimate round of the Bridgestone production cars, classes A and T, from the Killarney race circuit in Cape Town.
For more information on our series, log into www.spcc.co.za or tag us on Facebook and Twitter.
So looking at the Killarney circuit before we go out and pick up on the qualifying, the track suits the rear-wheel drive cars. What I mean is very fast flowing corners, the top end of the circuit extremely bumpy, but flat out high speeds. Essentially the track made up of two extremely long straights, making it a horsepower circuit.
Certainly weather conditions are going to play a vital role here. Of course, Cape Town, renowned for its very changing seasons, and of course we've been welcomed by some very cold weather today. This is the penultimate round, and for the drivers, the season can be won or lost in these last races. Let's get you up to speed with what it takes to be crowned 2013 champion. In Class A and leading the season from round one, the Engine Extreme Audi of Michael Stephen has a 37-point lead. He could wrap things up here at Killarney and take the championship with a round to go. History will tell. In second place is Etienne van der Linde in the Afrox and Pertic BMW. He has to take points away from Michael every opportunity he gets. Let's not forget that Etienne almost took a clean sweep with 41 points at the fourth round at Zwartkops. He could still upset Audi's dream team. The gap between second and third is 12 points, and expect a tussle between teammates to get higher up the podium. Johan Fourie has had a great season and is loving his BMW 335i drive. This is his home track, so keep your eye on him. The fight for third place is split by less than 20 points all the way down to sixth. So Johan, Gennaro, Chops, and Melville will be at each other's neck to grab every point available. Neither of them will give an inch. And don't underestimate Henny Groenewald in seventh place. He had a sublime last race, and that new car of his looks ready to fight. In Class T, things are a little closer at the top. Leading is Graham Nathan in the Indy Oil Golf 6 GTI. He has 9 points to his advantage. So what is he going to do with them? If that look is anything to go by. Gavin is on Nathan's heels, and this has been a ding-dong battle all season. The Mini taking 7 wins against the Volkswagen 3, but Nathan has taken 10 second places to Cronje's 3. Nathan can expect Cronje to come out fighting. The gap to third is quite a way down, with third and fourth split by 1 point. Jack Joubert has had a strong season by being consistent, but Gary Formato has been catching him while that new Ford Focus ST EcoBoost has been spooling up. Ford versus Volkswagen. Would we have it any other way? Lower down the leaderboard, there is still a battle between 4 manufacturers to get into the top 5. It's Mini versus Renault versus Chevrolet versus Ford. Who will take the lion's share of points? What battle scars will tell their story? Cool weather has been predicted, but things are hotting up in the Mother City as we look forward to the best racing yet. Let's get to qualifying.
good qualifier is definitely going to help you in Cape Town, but it isn't the be-all and end-all because of the long straights. Bonafide, though, a strong qualifier, gets onto row 2.
Here's a dark horse, Henny Grunewald in the Subaru. Watch out for him. He could be lethal down the back straights.
Seems to have turned his season around, and that car will hook up. But the BMWs, with the horsepower package, the straight line speed, are going to be right up there today.
Van der Linde and Fourie, his hometown track, with something to prove today.
In the Class Ts, the Minis have been coming on strong. Cronje desperately needs to get himself some good points, but it was Thompson that was climbing the ladder in qualies.
Certainly GTIs, the Golfs, the Fords, and there is the Rustenburg Rocket, the Chevy Cruze. Is he going to do well today?
Big talk about Van Rooyen and his car with big speed on this circuit. But watch out, because Nathan once again slam dunks it into pole position.
Let's get confirmation. BMW's on the front row, Class A. Then it's Henny Grunewald and Gennaro Bonafide.
Then you've got to go back and pick up on our championship points leader, Michael Stephen, on row 3. Melville Freeze next to him, then Chopsapuka, Roman De Beer. They make up the back of the pack.
Let's have a look at the qualifying results of Class T. Front row, Graham Nathan. Michael Van Rooyen alongside him. Then it's the two Minis side by side, Thompson and Cronje.
Row 3 made up of Devin Robertson and Gary Fomotto, a low qualifier in 6th place. Behind him, Duminy, Jacques Joubert also low in 8th place. And then Cooper and Cape Town's own Brendan Green.
Cape Town boys, so you've got a big audience here. But well done. Great pace.
Yeah, no, it was an unbelievable lap. My town, my track, my rules. no, the cars seem to be hooked up. Unbelievable. The guys did such a good job again, the BMW team. All I can say is thank you to them. And then, since I went out, normally turn 1 on new tires, a little bit cautious, but as I attacked turn 1, it felt like it's my 4th time going in there. So the car was just hooked up, and I think that's why I made most of my time, and then the rest of the lap was just perfect. If I have to do it again, I don't think I can do it any better, but I'm happy, and my teammate's right next to me, so it's a good one for BMW, and then we just have to see what's happening in the races, but looking forward to it.
Well, what will be the strategy? I mean, Eddie Van der Linde's got an outside chance, if not a little bit closer than what we think from Michael Stephen, but what will be the strategy?
So far, it's just go for it. I mean, theoretically, we're still on the hunt for it, but I mean, Michael's got a healthy lead. We need him to not finish basically races. So I mean, let's have BMW have a good end of the season. So let's just attack the track and the races and see what happens. We just want to go for wins and see if we can end up in the front, because I mean, we had some bad races in the middle of the year, but we seem to come back strong in the second part of the season. So we just want to go out and show our pace and show our race pace and try to win races.
Graham Nathan from the Indy Oil GTI Golf 6. Strategy this time around, what's it going to be?
Well, we're going to try and get out there and run away a little bit. Michael Van Rooyen's right behind me. He's going to be harassing me down the straight because that motor car is really, really quick. But I have to give a lot of credit to Mark Sachs from pole position. This thing is handling like it is on rails at the moment. So, yeah, everybody that's involved with our team has just done a superb job. Everybody, there are too many people to mention but at the moment. But, yeah, I'm just going to put my head down, try and get the pole, off the pole, get the great start that I want, and put it down and go as hard as I can in the beginning. I want to try and pull a Vettel, break the toe in the first lap, and then we'll see what happens.
We're at the penultimate round of the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, and I'm standing here with Jan Moritz from Bridgestone. He's the promotions and advertising manager. And Jan, you've got a really nice initiative going on. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and of course Bridgestone is getting behind that. Tell us a bit about what you've been doing.
Yes, we've launched what we call the Bridgestone Pink Valve Cap project, where we are selling pink valve caps to go on cars, motorcycles, whatever. The full 50 Rand, which costs a set, will go to breast cancer, to the Pink Drive Breast Cancer Project. We're also sponsoring all their vehicles, their trucks, and the money is going to sponsor a mobile mammography machine that will be the first in South Africa.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, and I see the boys are decking out their beautiful pink shirts as well in support.
Yes, no, we've got great support from the drivers. As you can see, the cars have got pink stickers on. They've all bought the pink valve caps, and they are available through Super Quick stores nationwide at 50 Rand a packet, like I said, and the whole 50 Rand goes towards the Pink Drive initiative.
a great initiative for the production cars to get involved in. But we go straight into racing. The first of the sprint races, race number 1, 7 laps, and tires are going to get torn up. The cold conditions are definitely going to come into play this time around.
Yeah, Matt, they've got to be careful. I mean, I know that the heart is pounding, the adrenaline is rushing, but they've got to be careful to watch those tires, because one slip here and it could end up in tears.
Check out Michael Stephen. He's up the road on the left-hand side. They're trying to get around the outside of Henny Groenewald. So Michael Stephen has had a great start.
So, Golf versus Mini, and in the mix of that is the Cruise. And Michael van Rooyen has got a point to prove, there's no doubt. Into turn 2, engine corner, and on their way to the Rose Foundation. And look at the drive Nathan's getting.
And Devin Robertson also moves up a row. So Robertson has had a great flyer off the line in the Renault Megane. He gets up into 4th place as they come through the back end of the circuit, trying to feel out the grip levels for now.
It's an interesting storyboard, isn't it, Matt? I mean, it's been about the Minis, and it's been about Nathan, the big show, going head-to-head, and we're into the penultimate round. It's very exciting with lots to come.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a nail-biter. I think the first 2 sprint races, we're going to have a similar feel, and then in the feature race, it is all going to get blown apart, because we're going to see a huge attrition rate. If these conditions stay as they are, it is going to hurt the cars.
Absolutely agree with you, and it's not going to be won on the first race either, or the second for that matter.
Gennaro Bonafide takes us down across the stripe for the first time. A good drop off the line for him, sees him sitting in 5th place, should I say. 4th place is Michael Stephen, who's had a great charge. Chopsapuka takes Roman De Beer a little wide at the end of the first lap.
And speaking of which, he does go wide, and we know he can drive. I mean, he's a youngster that's been represented by ADF Motorsport, and they've placed a lot of faith in him, and he's driving that car on the rails.
Check out Henny Groenewald. He is running extremely good pace. Michael Stephen having the good jump off the line there, getting himself up to run with the pace, but the BMWs look like they're stretching the gap in the early stages already. We said this was a horsepower circuit, and the BMWs are gone. It's Ferrari that is like a hair off the front of this pack.
Absolutely. Well, Michael Stephen will not be worried at this stage, because he knows that he's got a gap to play with, and all he has to do is really finish races, keep it on the black stuff. That's his modus operandi right now.
There is a huge problem at the back end of Class T's, because that's Gavin Cronier. He is all the way out the back end, sitting behind Brennan Green, and that is just telling us a huge story in the championship. Something has gone wrong on the second of the Minis. This is the first of the Minis still out there cruising, and it's the Cruise trying to get around the outside of Thompson as he defends going down into Cape Town corner.
Well, we knew that the Minis were quick, but look at the pace that the Rustenburg Rocket had down that straight. You could see that. Another 50 meters of track going into Cape Town corner. I think he would have actually stuffed it in there.
Well, that's what Nathan was saying. We caught up with him in the pits. He says that Chevy Cruise has got a package in Cape Town.
So, Ferrari leading out in Class A. Van der Linde is hunting him down as well. And watch out for Henny Groenewald. There's our champion, our reigning champion, Michael Stephen, who's going for a record in South Africa, trying to pick up 3 championships in a row.
He's our championship points leader, and he is trying to get through on Henny Groenewald. You can see by the shape and the body language that he's throwing the Engine Extreme Audi around. He wants to get through. He wants to get past. His tires and his car are now in the sweet spot, and he wants to start driving the point home. All the while, Henny Groenewald has closed the gap on Etienne van der Linde, and it looks to be getting held up there.
On board with Henny Groenewald, the Subaru, chasing down van der Linde, who's in front of him. And, of course, Ferrari is flying. Now watch how they go down, and watch the braking markers. Hard on the brakes. Got to turn it in nicely here. Excellent stuff, and Ferrari is just pounding that BMW.
Most of these cars, we talk about Cape Town corner, that is the big horseshoe at the bottom there, the 180. Most of the Class A cars run a deep and late apex, only doing one turn and clipping the curb on the way out.
Well, it depends how desperate they are, because you know these racing drivers in the series, they'll pick a line that they didn't think was there.
To be honest, most of the drivers will be running that deep line as long as they're not in a huge tussle. But open the gap a little, maybe half a car width, and you're going to see a driver like Michael Stephen shove one up the inside.
Absolutely.
Stephen trying to get that line through. You can see he is desperate to get the move on. You actually know that the pace is being held up now because Bonafide has now been brought back into the mix. So van der Linde is bringing everyone close to his back wheel now.
I am surprised, though, that Roman De Beer back in that BMW is a little further off the pace because he had signs and showings that he was about 0.7 off the pace of the new F30 BMWs at Swartkops. So he'll want to make up some ground, but maybe a little nervous right now at Cape Town because the big boys have come down to play.
Yeah, and the new BMW has a much better aero package, and it is certainly showing its usefulness here.
No doubt, man.
There's
no
a problem
doubt.
up the road here, Steve. The Subaru has let go, so a great drive in the early laps. And the Sasol Subaru of Henny Groenewald is going to have to pull off on this one.
How many times have we seen that happen?
It's just, I don't know, that engine just seems to overwork itself. just seems to run a little bit too hot, but something has dramatically let go, and that's going to blow the front end wide open, because all of a sudden, two BMWs up front. This is Henny Groenewald pulling off. Gearbox is still working. We'll have to wait and see what the actual problem is and see if he can get back out to racing. But that is going to move Michael Stephen smoothly back up into the 3 spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had plenty of time to speak to Carl Peter on a regular basis, but let's catch up with that story later. But right now, lap 5 is 7.2 to go, and I'll tell you what, the Mini is bringing some pressure. Graham Nathan, car 21.
And wide. Nathan goes wide at the top end there. Just ran the pace a little bit too deep at Cape Town corner. I've been talking about that late apex. That was way too late. Opened the door and invited Lee Thompson through and gave him a glass of champagne as he entered.
It looked like Nathan was hanging his head in shame there. He's going to be annoyed with himself.
Yeah, he does make mistakes. He says, you know, it does happen, but at least the story is the fact that in the championship, Cronier is out of this one. But what Lee Thompson is trying to do is a bit of damage limitation as far as the Mini team goes.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got a championship at stake, but Lee Thompson, well, he'll be the first to tell you that they've had a very difficult season, and it hasn't been plain sailing. Lots of changes to the car, positive changes, and we're seeing it right now. Can he hold on against Graham Nathan?
In the background, to be honest, we're talking about a 2-horse race in this first of the sprint races. Third place is all about the Chevy Cruze. There is the second of the Indy Oil GTI, so that's Jacques Joubert. He's having huge problems as well. So we've lost one of the main players, the man that runs third in championship points, Jacques Joubert, in the second of the Indy Oil Golfs, and we've lost the man who has been running second in the championship, Gavin Cronier, the second of the Minis.
Back to Class A and the BMWs, 1 and 2. Van der Linde's on his tail, and it looks like Van der Linde's getting a bit more pace and closing that gap on Ferrari, but it is his hometown track, and he knows it very, very well, and the support base here has been phenomenal.
It's as if Ferrari has rolled out of this one. To be honest, he has been brought back to the tune of about a second and a half.
Yeah.
So he's going to really have to watch his mirrors from now on. But I think what we're looking at here is the fact that these guys are going to be working together now. But we should see, if we are right in our assumptions, Ferrari moving over and then allowing Van der Linde to get through. We'll see if that's going to happen.
You might have seen that marshal waving that white flag, and initially I thought it was the checkered flag, but that means that there's a slower car on the track, and I think they're referring to young Jacques Joubert.
Yeah, the Stiglet, he's in trouble, but at least he is still out there and trying to just garner as many points as he can. The leaders are going to come through and pray that there's enough room to just squeeze on through. Nathan is hoping there's going to be a little bit more room for him, and maybe he can just jump ship and get back in front after his own mistake.
Yeah, look, Van der Linde, Class A, he's coming. Now, this championship is at stake. Will Ferrari do him a favour? I mean, I know there's no team orders, but there is a championship here. He's got the pace and he's closed in. Ferrari closes the door. I don't believe what's going on here.
Yeah, literally closing the door there. He's moving all the way over. A small touch between the teammates. So what we thought was a teammate going to do a favour to his buddy, no, moves on over. Ferrari takes the win in the first of the sprint races, and Van der Linde came on strong at the end there to almost take the win as well.
Maybe Ferrari thought Stephen was too close. Anyway, here comes your leader of Class T. Outstanding from Lee Thompson. A mistake by Nathan.
Yeah, Thompson obviously out of the championship, but doing a lot of good work for the Mini team with the demise of Gavin Cronier in this first race. So championship points leader Nathan extends yet even further off the front with his second place.
And a podium finish for the Cruze for Michael van Rooyen, but there's the focus. Ferrari gets the win that he so desperately wanted.
Always down in Cape Town. Thompson, he's had a lot of mechanicals, a lot of problems on the season, and he's just out there to take the wins. He gets it.
All right, let's get those confirmations. Class A, Johan Ferrari wins it out. Etienne van der Linde, Michael Stephen already champion third, Bonafide and then Sapuka.
In the Class T's, huge story with Lee Thompson taking the win for his team. Graham Nathan gets second place. Van Rooyen, the rocket ship, in third place. Formodo in fourth, and Cooper in fifth place. Cape Town's Brendan Green gets sixth place. Some points for Gavin Cronier in seventh.
An outstanding race. You didn't look like you were in any kind of trouble. What did kind of puzzle us was the fact that Etienne van der Linde is fighting this championship as well as you were. I thought Michael was a bit too close for you to actually pull over.
Yeah, no, I don't know where Michael got past Henny or Gennaro. I just saw the yellow car, the Subaru being behind Etienne, put my head down, went a couple of times, and the next moment I saw the black car behind Etienne. So I was coasting along, minding my own business, and like 2-3 laps from the end, going into turn 2, my foot just slipped off the brake pedal as I hit it, so I nearly went off the track, and then that lost my little bit of a gap that I had. So I had to defend the last 2 laps from Etienne, but it still seemed like Etienne got away from Michael in the end. But I mean, for the championship, like I said to you, we need Michael not to finish. So if Michael finishes third, doesn't mean anything. So we're just going out for race wins at the moment, and between my teammate and myself, we can knock them up. the wins, why not? So, I mean, it's like I said, it's impossible for us to really win the championships. Michael up there the whole time, and he proved over the course of the year that he's very consistent. So, I mean, that's our bad luck at the moment. So we're just pushing on for wins. That's it.
Do you feel a bit frustrated out there, or are you happy with the result?
A little bit, but it's done and dusted. Shifting my focus to the second race and see what we can do. I definitely had the pace on Johan in the first race, so I think I've got a good package to score some good points and take the fight to the Audis.
Did you feel that he was close enough to, or rather Michael was close enough not to allow maybe you a pass?
I guess it's debatable, but I'll leave that for the team to sort out.
We're standing here with the winner, Lee Thompson, in the Castrol John Cooper Works Mini. Looked pretty cool out there for you today.
No, pretty cool. It's definitely not the way it was. It was really hard getting past Graham. I really needed this win, yeah. In the beginning of the year, I didn't even do 2 laps the whole weekend. Broke down early enough, and look, my championship is long gone already, but these wins, when you get them in hard times like these, it's really rewarding.
Maybe can you throw some light onto what's going on with Gavin Cronje? I mean, there's title championships at stake at the moment. Not a great result for him or the team.
Yeah, no, very unfortunate incident there with him. The seal that goes between the fuel tank and the fuel pump dislodged by some way, and unfortunately messed fuel onto his rear tyre, which made it very slippery, so he decided to come in. But yeah, it's his championship now. They obviously going to fix it for the next race, but it's already the points gone. Luckily, we did some damage limitations by beating Graham in a fair fight this time, so I'm really happy.
Second place, but you'll probably be happy with that.
Yeah, as a game plan for the rest of the season, my team and I are very happy. For me, I'm very unhappy. I'm grumpy as hell at the moment because I made the mistake which led Lee through. But we'll try and make amends in the next race, and you know, that's a typical racing driver. You're never happy. You try as hard as you can all the time, and let's see what happens in the next one.
Another 7-lap, what we would call a sprint race coming up. So the guys have got everything to do. The huge story in the Class A's is Johan Fourie taking a win and looking to go for the super triple on the day. In the Class T's, all about Graham Nathan trying to fix his own mistake. Outbreaking himself in the Cape Town corner and allowing Lee Thompson to come through. Gavin Cronje and the Stiglitz, Jacques Joubert, mechanical problems, trying to sort their cars out and get back into the mix.
Smiling faces in their pink shirts, and a great initiative from Bridgestone. It might be all smiles now, but when we get on the tarmac,
All change.
so what's it going to be, another 10?
This is the draw for the inversion. We've seen so many 10s throughout the season, and this time it falls to Lee Thompson to pick the 8.
Well done, Lee. As the music builds, so does the drama. One down, another sprint to come.
Michael Stephen in the Engine Extreme Audi will have a chance, should he improve on his 3rd place, to edge even closer to his championship.
Rolling start, and here we go for the second sprint race. 7 laps. And let's see what the youngster in front, Roman De Beer, can do. Can he hold off the big boys?
He is going to be extremely busy in the early stages, and then in the Class T's you can see that is Devin Robertson and the Renault Megane trying to hang on to his own situation as Ryan Cooper gets loose. And that was one of the Fords getting way out wide there.
A little heads up, though. I'm actually been impressed with Ryan Cooper in the GTI. I mean, he comes from regional bike racing. He hasn't any experience in this field, and yet he keeps it on the tarmac.
Yeah, he's got some good flowing lines around, and he's very much built in the mold of Gary Van Heerden. Big muscular driver, so, you know, you don't want to be banging bars too hard with him as well. He might climb out and give you a thump.
So, Roman De Beer is still heading out, but he is being chased down by Reigning Champ. He's got a rear-view mirror full of Michael Stephen.
And then just behind Stephen, watch out for the inversion specialists. I'm talking about Chop Sapuka and Gennaro Bonafide. So many times throughout the season, we've seen these guys locked together and working their way forward. forwards. But this time, they are just going to be banging bars the whole way through. Chops defending on the inside, Gennaro trying to sweep around the outside, way high for the Ferodo driver.
Michael Stevens still bringing a lot of pressure on the youngster Roman De Beer, and he's doing a sterling job right now, but I don't think that's going to last because Michael's coming. And did you see the toe that Gennaro Bonifati got down that back straight?
Yeah, he is very good at placing his car in the sweet spot. Michael Steven has got a little bit of time to play with here, while Gennaro and Chops play with each other down there trying to get the third place. Michael is trying to line up different kind of lines. He's still got a little bit of a buffer. He can try some lines inside, outside, but he also doesn't want to make a questionable pass.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Roman De Beer has gone wide, so this is going to open the door quite nicely. Steven will be very happy with that, and Chops is trying to drive around the outside. No, the line is cut.
Well, it was BMW, just the lone BMW that was taking on 4 Audis right there. And you know what? Has to be submission because Michael's got through.
Roman De Beer extremely strong coming out of dam step, slides and cuts the nose off going into Malmesbury. A very brave move as well, because if you get tagged going in there, you're going to go all the way to the wall. We've seen some massive crashes. So Roman De Beer is doing the drive of his life, out of his skin at the moment, hanging on to that second place. But for how long?
And equally impressive because he's a rear-wheel drive.
That was a Class T. We just saw one of the Class T's. Graham Nathan on board.
That looked like Devin Robinson.
Devin Robinson. So once again, a problem on the Magon. Whatever the problem was in race number 1, it has not been rectified.
Will be interesting to see also the man that was missing in race number 1 of having to pull into the pits was Henny Grunewald in the Subaru. So interesting times ahead for that team today.
Check out Marco van Rooyen. Great shot of the Ford, losing bits of bodywork and going backwards.
What do they make those things out of?
Formato has got some big problems. He had a poor qualifier. They also really battled to get a qualifier together at the beginning of the year, if you remember. But this time, they've just been beaten up in the mid-pack, and Gary's got some problems on their car today.
I'm always confused. I mean, how does an ST get beaten up and duffed down back straight by a Mini?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They should really have a good power advantage, but something has gone wrong with the setup.
So De Beer still in the mix, and really in the mix. And here comes the rest. There's the one you were talking about, Matt.
Yeah, Devin Robinson, he's not going to be happy at all. He had a good chance. The inversion really works to his favor, often puts him out front, but this time he has had to step back. Check out Roman De Beer. This is the drive of his season. Remember, he's been brought in very late into the team, but he is making a couple of mistakes around the circuit, opening the door, but he's got enough power and enough squirt on that BMW just to live on and maybe survive out there a little bit longer. But look at the new... Oh, that was a misgear. That was definitely a misgear, and he is just going to get blown out the back door now. If you can't get the drive coming out of Cape Town corner, as you slot 3rd to 4th place, and that's exactly how quickly it can happen. He has gone all the way to the back of the Class A's.
Let's not be too hard on him because that car is very, very difficult to drive. You can just ask Johan Free, but must remember here, it's his first time driving in Cape Town.
And only his second time getting a seat in that car as well. So he's definitely a talent to watch out for going into next season. He is proving his point that he can pull some punches with the big guns.
So Michael van Rooyen, we're on board right now with the Chevy Cruze. He's got a 3rd in the first race. He wants a bit more out of this car, and he needs another podium finish. But the Mini's in front. See how he closes up. He has certainly got paces, no doubt about it.
It's the aero package on that car as well. Not just horsepower, but the way that it can slide through the air. He is actually doing a lot of work on the brakes to kind of hold himself back there. Whereas the Mini of Thompson can do a lot of mid-corner speed and hold himself in there. But out front, it is nothing but good news for Gavin Cornier as he leads out after a dismal start to his racing day in Cape Town.
Well, if it carries on like this, it's going to turn out to be a wonderful day for the Middies. But Lee Thompson, well, he's got one under his belt, looking for another one, his teammate, the championship here at stake. Now, this will be great news, as you say, but down the back straight. And here come the Class A's. Michael Steven leading it out. The BMW of Van der Linde chasing him down.
When was the last time that we said Michael Steven was leading a race? I mean, he is the championship points leader. He is the reigning champion. But the second half of the season, it has been very thin on the ground to see him take a win.
No, sure. What is it? 2 rounds, 4 races, 6 races? But anybody will tell you consistency is key.
Watch out for the BMWs, though. I think it's this stage of the race that they start to come good and really start to fly. But Gennaro Bonifati has been turning the screws on his car and has found something a little bit extra in race number 2.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
That's
oh,
Cronier's gone backwards. Cronier has gone backwards once again, and that was at the very top end of revs. So something has let go in dramatic fashion, and Cronier will be cursing in the Mini.
Has he lost a gear? He's still there. Has he lost a gear, maybe?
He is still there, so I don't know what on earth has gone wrong. No matter what has gone wrong, it was a first place. It's not going to be a first place anymore.
Well, he's hanging on, and of course right now the danger is he might get overtaken by Michael van Rooyen.
Yeah, the Chevy Cruze is in the right position, but of course, right turns into left, and it can be defended. So let's see how much space Gavin Cronier is willing to give.
On the way out of the Rose Foundation, and Thompson must be absolutely pinching himself now.
No, he will not believe what's going on, and coming out of the start of this year, he had nothing but mechanical problems, walked away with a blown engine from this round, and this time around, he is seeing clear air twice in a row.
I think he's got a gearbox problem, I think Cronier's got a gearbox problem, because he's still there, and he's on pace in certain parts of the course.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the car is actually going to hold together, but if he has lost one of the gears, you're just going to see that gap grow and grow. He may be able to defend for the 4th place, but 1, 2, and 3 is between the Mini, the Golf, and the Chevy Cruze.
How crucial is this for Nathan? I mean, it just really is stamping the authority, even if he doesn't win this, and there's no doubt that he won't. Oh, neck and neck, and he goes by. Nathan's going to go through. Can he make it stick? He can't turn in on Thompson.
Watch how deep Thompson is going to go into this one, and Nathan knows that. He gave him the space because he'll know if you force a driver out wide, there's going to be dirt on the tires. They're going to try and go for the do or die, and Nathan was very clever to stay well out of the way.
Absolutely. I mean, all he needs to go is get tagged, and then they're both in trouble.
The Chevy Cruze, this is where he needs to be right under the back bumper of Grant Nathan's car. And I saw something loose flapping at the back of Nathan's car there as well. Van Rooyen's now let go. Van Rooyen got no drive coming out of Rose Foundation sweep, damp stip as we used to know it, and he has also gone off the back wheel. So that is huge and massively good news for Gavin Cronier as he re-inherits 3rd place.
Yeah, and still at the points. And here comes the winner, Michael Stephen. A win, finally, for Team Audi.
Yeah, that's going to help him out just also in his championship points haul, but mainly in his confidence. He'll have been scratching his head thinking, can I still do this?
More importantly, Van der Linde was thereabouts and chasing down Stephen, 2nd place.
So Thompson in Class T's, 2 for 2, and getting rid of that Cape Town curse that has been shadowing him for the last year.
Curse, ooh. So Mini, Golf and Mini, there's your podium.
Michael Stephen, championship points leader, reigning champion, and finally gets himself back onto the top of the box. Thompson gets another win, and he is well and truly on his way to a great set of championship points. Michael Stephen then takes the win ahead of Van der Linde. Bonafide, great result for him in 3rd place ahead of Ferrari and Sapuka.
Class C, interesting stuff. Lee Thompson, 2 for 2. Graham Nathan, Gavin Cronier, Jack Jabert, and Michael van Rooyen in the Cruze.
Flip the page and we get another solid 6th place for Cooper. Brennan Green out of Cape Town gets 7th ahead of Dumini and Formato, who are really battling with the 4th today.
You've made back some points you lost and put your grip firmly back on the championship again.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that just yet, but, you know, it was certainly a good race. The reverse grid certainly helped us a little bit, and we managed to have a good opening lap, passing, I think, 2 cars and then Roman on the 2nd lap. And, you know, pushed to the end. I think Etienne was coming towards the end. But, yeah, happy to pull back a win. I don't think we've had a win in the last 2 rounds, so it feels good again.
Certainly, you know, going into race number 3, vitally important because this is the kicker. It's 20 points, and you've got to be in thereabouts.
Yeah, it is. You know, and the grid position is determined from race 2, and I was probably the only guy who didn't get a toe in the last race. So starting 5th, but I think we've got, you know, good race pace. I think we looked at race 1 when we were behind the BMs. We caught them towards the end. So hopefully, you know, over 14 laps we can hang in there and make a move at the end of the race and, you know, bring back another win.
Yeah, an outstanding race 1. Of course, you got the win this time around. A lot better for you, but boy, oh boy, did you have to work hard for it.
Yeah, no, definitely our job. Actually quite a weird feeling to get 2 wins on the day. Normally it's win, breakdown, or breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. Depends on how my luck goes, but I think it's turning now. The team did an excellent job. The endless power brake combination pads really does their job. I think that's where I can get hold of the Golf. I'm really happy Pity about Gavin's car broke a 4th gear, so he's losing a little bit more, but then just same scenario for me, just get hold of Graham and that's it.
Standing here with Graham Nath, who is the rating champion at the moment, and results of race number 2 are in. It was won by Lee Thompson. Were you prepared to mix it up with him out there?
Absolutely. I was trying everything to get past that Mini. It's just the guys at BMW have done a great job of that car, and Lee's doing a great job. He tried really, really hard, and he managed to take the win. So good luck to him. Well done, team. but it's definitely not a settle for second place scenario in my head.
What about third race strategy? I mean, is it going to be about keeping the nose tidy and also doing what you've been doing the whole season, which is drive the socks off this GTI?
Indeed, I need to make it last the whole race. So, and this racetrack, as we can see, Michael had an unfortunate tyre failure. So it's very, very hard on the rubber. And look, the Mini is at an advantage because it's got a lot less to carry. So the rubber should last on that car, but he's not going to have it his own way. If I stand a chance, I'm going to be in it.
A better result for you. You had some bad luck in race 1. You were able to compete out there today.
Yeah, look, I mean, race 2 started off good. I had a comfortable lead and seemingly could hold it, and lost 4th gear, so I was running 3rd, 5th, which hurts me on the straight line speeds, and the Oaks were able to get past me. Still managed to get a 3rd, so I think kudos, a good job for the circumstances, and we live to fight another day.
Championship right now is paramount concern to you. Are you concerned that it might just be slipping a bit by bit?
Look, I think as I'm experiencing this weekend, it can go your way, it can't, you know, so it's only over when it's over, and we're going to keep fighting to the end. You know, the next heat's a double header. We seem to be strong in race pace. I was very strong there, but it doesn't help if you have these niggles. So, look, we're going to fight on and keep the fight to him. We've got to keep the pressure on. Maybe something's going to crack.
Stay with us, because coming up after the break, it's the feature race from Cape Town. This action presented by Bridgestone.
Cool weather conditions, and we're back for the main theme piece. This is going to be the ultimate.
To talk about the Class A's, the cars that run good in the theme piece, the BMWs have early pace, but they tend to chew their tires towards the end. So we're going to have to see if the Audis can maintain and maybe last a little bit longer.
Now here's the biggest surprise. Melville Priest did an engine. They worked furiously on that car to get it back in. He was able to get out again and set the fastest time in race 2 to put him on pole with a new engine, new tires, new attitude, and a new realm of luck.
That's definitely going to help him out, and hopefully he has got the sweet package for his engine to help him last. They'll have prepped that car specifically for the long-distance race. In the Class T's, the huge story is the fact that the most consistent driver and the most consistent package under the bonnet has been Graham Nathan and the Golf GTI.
No doubt, but Lee Thompson is certainly proving that that is not the case today.
Well, we've seen the Mini take 2 wins in the sprint races, but has it got the legs when it comes to endurance?
I'm really intrigued and very excited because a championship is in the making here.
Like origami, Steve, it's about to unfold.
Very profound, Matt. But it's down to the nitty-gritty, and this is where it gets serious. The start of race number 3, 14 laps from Cape Town. Melville Priest gets on the hammer.
And watch out, because Gennaro Bonafide is on his back wheel, so he should have the good line to follow suit and go on through. But check how hard the Aprox BMWs are leaning on in there and applying pressure, and it worked as well.
Ah, there's the Class T's, but I'll focus back onto the A's, and Priest is still leaving it out. Notice how Van der Linde has been the BMW all day, although Ferrari's got a win, and Van der Linde's been consistently quick.
Henny Groenewald and all kinds of chaos in front of him. That looked like it was Chop Sapuka and Roman de Beer. The guys that were running at the back end of the Class A's are now being eaten up by the Class T's. But there was a huge problem there in turn number 2. And unfortunately, Henny Groenewald got involved there as well, had to back out of it.
I want to tell you what's missing from Class T right now.
Ford. No Fords on the lineup, no Fords on the start list. So that is going to obviously create some gaps in the field and change up the race as well. With them out of the mix, it is just going to be the standard option at the front, Mini versus Golf.
And we can tell you that it has been their decision to pull out of this race, so things going on behind the scenes. But anyway, we're going to concentrate back on the racing right now, and it's still an incredible battle here in the championship at Class A. It's not going to be done and dusted today, there's no doubt about that.
This is the end of lap number 1, and look up the road. Melville Priest has pulled a clear 1.5-second gap.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, that we said the fact that that's a new engine, they put the car together specifically for this race, and he is just going to bury it the whole way through. If his tires fry, if the engine cooks, it doesn't matter. He's got nothing to lose.
Incredible pace right now for Melville Priest, and you can see it visually, but the BMWs are coming in the fact of Van der Linde. Just around the corner there is Ferrari, and he'll want to improve here, but on board with Jacques Joubert, and look what's happening in the front. Nathan and Thompson side by side.
Nathan gets it, goes in deep up the inside of turn number 2, and forces Thompson all the way to the outside, and still gets the drive. So we have got, yeah, he cuts across, and he has held on to that. So the move has counted coming out of turn number 2 all the way through the back end here. So Graham Nathan finally gets clear air. The last time he was leading was about halfway through race number 1 at the beginning of the day before he made his own mistake, outbraking himself at Cape Town Corner. He will not make the same mistake again.
One of the most incredible parts of Killarney racetrack is coming out of Malmesbury and onto that back straight, and we're on that straight right now into Cape Town Corner, and it is Van der Linde leading out against Michael Stephen, and there's the BMW. Look at Gennaro Bonafide on the outside. Great drive from him.
Ferrari tries to get the move on the outside, but watch out for this BMW power. As he clicks into 4th gear, he just slides on through, and he'll get past probably with enough time to outbrake and come across on the nose of Gennaro Bonafide. And no, he obviously heard what I was doing there, but Gennaro Bonafide cuts the nose off the BMW and hangs on to his own position.
I don't want to sound like we were repeating ourselves, but where the heck is Melville Priest got this power from?
He literally has found something huge in that engine. The team have had a little bit of extra time to tweak the car specifically for this race, and it is definitely paying off. And let's remind ourselves, the feature race, double points.
And he's making a mockery of it. Look at the lead he's got.
I think he's got the lead, though, because of what we are watching right now. Because you should not be braking going through Malmesbury. Van der Linde is trying to destroy all the drive of the drivers behind him.
Yeah, no, very clever in saying that. And with all that muck going on behind Priest, he's just skittling away.
And he's not even in his qualifying lap times. He qualified at 16. He's racing at 17. The guys behind him are on the high 17s, low 18s. So they're not going to close the gap either.
Well, we've seen some incredible pace all weekend, and if we look back at the qualifying for Ferrari, wow, unbelievable. So we know the cars have got pace.
On board with Jacques Joubert, there's Graham Nathan. No mistakes for him so far, and he is actually coming up on the back end of one of the slow Class A's. That's probably Chop Sapuka.
So, Mini have got a point to prove, but Nathan is just gobbling this all up right now, and he's got that championship in his head, flying. We're on board, though, right now with Jacques Joubert, his teammate, who hasn't had a great day so far.
And he's actually closing in on the back end of Geraint Cornier. So this is good news for Jacques Joubert, the man that holds on to 3rd place in championship points, as he is building pace throughout this race, and he's got a chance to go head-to-head with Geraint Cornier.
Somebody got their wheels on the dirt, turned back. It could have been in Class T, but right now, this battle royal, and this is the most exciting part of the way those rear-wheel drives slide out of that corner, and the Van der Linde is still hanging on there. He knows that Michael Stephen is taking points out from him.
Check out Bonafide up the inside of Malmesbury, a place only for the brave and probably a place only for the Quattro system as well. But he hasn't got a good drive, and you can see just in the background, Ferrari is desperate to get on through. He's going to try and follow through the inside line that Gennaro has opened up, but Michael Stephen will hang it around the outside, and if he still gets good drive coming out of Cape Town Corner, he can maintain and control the inside line going into turn number 1. Michael Stephen, a king at hanging it around the outside forever and ever.
No doubt about it. And let me also tell you to our TV viewers that what's happening down that back straight, you don't get a true indication, a reflection of how quick they are coming into that corner.
Look at this, the pass. Has it finally stuck? Yes, it has, because Gennaro gets sent all the way out to the dirt. But what a pass from Michael Stephen. Set that up for about half a lap.
Still pressure out of turn 2, engine corner, and on their way to the Rose Foundation, and this race is getting very, very close.
2nd place is definitely going to be up for grabs now. All the outbraking situation that was going on in the early stages from Van der Linde, that seems to have been blown apart. Van der Linde is comfortable in 2nd place. He's not going to catch Melville Priest, but the battle on the road now for 3rd is between Michael Stephen and Gennaro Bonafide, and it's a big one.
Damage control. That's all we can say. Damage control.
Yeah, Michael Stephen coming off his win in the second of the sprint races, but this double points grab, as long as he can tag a top 3 finish, that's certainly going to help him out.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. But let's not discount what Van der Linde's been doing all day, and he's very, very quick. And if he can just eke out a point. But will it be enough in the overall scheme of things with one round to come?
I don't think he's going to be able to wrap up the championship today, but it is going to be painfully close.
Now, this is an interesting battle behind the leader. Graham Nathan's leading out, and it looks like Thompson is going backwards a little bit because Cronier is now starting to step up, and Jack Joubert is bringing pressure now on Thompson.
Yeah, pretty much since that pass was made by Graham Nathan, Thompson has been battling with the car. He's already been passed by his teammate Gavin Cronier, and he is in the danger zone now. He's going to get blown out of the top 3, possibly the top 4, because Jacques Joubert and the Chevy Cruiser Van Rooyen are right under his back bumper. Thompson has got a huge problem.
Time flies as we're having fun at Cape Town, and I just wonder how many laps are left because this is serious business, and both the Class A and Class T's. Nathan looks comfortable right now, going for an inside move on Thompson. Thompson definitely got a little bit of a problem because Jacques Joubert is making big ground here.
Living on borrowed time, we'll try and see if it's a gearbox problem. He seems to get good drive coming out of the corners, so no problems there. But down the long back straight is, if there's a problem on the car, that's where it shows. Big slide from Thompson there, understeer going into the back section of the track, so it may be a tyre situation. The front end seems to be pushing out. Let's see if he can actually hold a decent line coming out of Malmesbury. But he's not holding the line. He's not getting the big drive, and there's going to be a pass on the cards at the end of this one.
These onboard shots, courtesy of Michael Van Rooyen in the Cruise, just absolutely outstanding. Again, as I said earlier on, you really don't get a true idea of how quick these cars come into this corner and get on the brakes.
And Thompson doing a classic covering line there, hard on the brakes, really battling to get that Mini turned in. But it's definitely a front tyre situation that is causing him problems.
I must say, Michael Van Rooyen's car does look really good. I mean, it looks very stable. Oh, he's having a look down the inside. Oh, yes, he nails it over Jacques Joubert.
And he might be able to go 2 for 2 here. So outside of Jacques Joubert, inside of the Mini, but Thompson just a little bit earlier on his line. A long sweeping cut through turn number 1, and that's how they've got those Minis set up. They can actually carry a lot of mid-corner speed through the big sweepers.
Absolutely, and you see the more experienced drivers coming out of turn 1 as they line themselves up for turn 2. They try and stay on the outside so they've got the inside line for 2.
Thompson is not going to have good drive here. He had to go for the cover line going into turn number 2, where you actually have to hold the curb all the way through, but he's got a good line coming out. But the Chevy is definitely firing good now.
10 of 14, so it's really getting down to
Kiss of death, Steve.
Yeah.
Was firing good. The Chevy has just let go right at the braking marker at the bottom of Cape Town corner.
You put the commentator's curse on him again, Matt.
Always do that, always do that. So unfortunately, the Chevy Cruise has shown incredible pace throughout the day, but it's just not got that consistent package yet.
So, the day is now panning out to the champions, Nathan Cronier, Van der Linde, Michael Stephen.
Look at the gaps that are blown wide open in this race. It is a huge story. The feature race is a massive drama piece, and it's great to see the gaps blow open. The gaps wouldn't be as big if the Fords were in the mix. We have to remind ourselves of that. Hopefully they are back in for racing at the final round at Killarney. But right now, it is Golf GTI versus the Mini Cooper Works.
And meanwhile, back at the ranch, or at Cape Town, Melville Priest is just leading this by a country mile.
This, to be honest, is a great dice on the track for third place in the Class T's. But this is Melville Priest leading things out in the Class A by arguably the biggest gap for a win that we have seen on this season.
No doubt, Mark, no doubt. And of course, his dad and the rest of the team from Olin's and Mueller Sports Medicine are going to be ecstatic over this. Well deserved. And a great drive at the end of the day. Oh, there's the Mini.
That's Thompson, as we see the flag coming out for Melville Priest. So Thompson, because of the small amount of cars in the feature race, should still be able to score some kind of points. But look at that gap, and that's what we're going to be talking about for a long time with Priest.
Lots of smoke coming out of Thompson's car. I have no idea what that's about. But here comes Nathan, and he's going to really do well today and pick up a bag full of points.
Yeah, Cape Town has been good for the big show, and he is also edging himself dangerously close to tying up this championship with a massive win in the feature race.
Cronier finally gets second place. Outstanding result for them. A clawback, nevertheless. But the big talking point, Melville Priest blew the field away.
Yeah, you know, he came good at Swakops. He's proven himself to run good pace and take a win at Cape Town as well. So second win on the season for Priest ahead of Van der Linde. Michael Stevens solid with his third place. Bonafide in fourth, and then Fourie in fifth.
Results Class T, Graham Nathan, the big show, winning it outright. Gavin Crodnier, Lee Thompson in the other mini, Jacques Joubert and Michael van Rooyen in the cruise. We are standing here with the winner of the final three-piece to our day's proceedings, Melville Priest.
Yeah, look, it was hard work for the team today, you know. We were very disappointed with qualifying, you know. We on our second flying lap in qualifying, we were probably on for second place in qualifying, but, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. The boys worked very hard to get that engine in. We managed to get that lap in that second race to put us on pole position for the third race, and we absolutely nailed it. You know, we left them eating our dust, literally.
Twists and turns throughout the entire 14 laps, but how gratifying, Melville.
Yeah, yes, I tell you, the team worked hard. And, you know, we've had a difficult last few races. And so, again, like it's Zwartkops, you know, it's one for the team, and we work together, and we'll take it to Killarney.
It's been an awesome season so far, and I'm sure it has a fitting end on its way back to Killarney. But I suppose you can walk away from here, Michael, knowing that it was a job well done today.
Yeah, I think, you know, we had a good day. We finished all three races. That was the first target, and we finished them up in the front. I think a third, a win, and another third. So a decent points haul. I don't think we wrapped it up, but it goes down to the wire. We've got a healthy lead, but you know, you can't count your chickens before they hatch. So we'll be working hard, and hopefully we can have a good Killarney.
I suppose you've got quite a few people to thank.
Indeed, I do. There's just thanks aplenty. Let's start right at the top. Dean, Steve, Peter Kaedi, Indy Oil are the guys that make it happen. Jacques Joubert, my teammate, he's tried all day. Chris, Mark Sachs, everybody who got involved with this motor car this time, thank you very much. Sasol Racing and the competitors and the crowds and everybody that came to Cape Town. A great place to race, a great day for us, and we've just gone leaps ahead in the championship, which is nice.
Clearly a very happy Graham Nathan, but from a personal point of view, it's been a season as we've watched it. It's been twists and turns and drama. You haven't always been in front, but you kept on plugging there. This today must be so gratifying with a championship begging.
Absolutely, you know, it's nice to go the last round with a little bit of a cushion. It's not a lot, but because things can change very quickly. Gavin's just been a great competitor all year. The Mini brand has tried as hard as they can. We've just done a superb job with the VW product. It's just a great motor car to own, and it just does what it needs to do all the time.
Looking at the championship points heading into the final round, Michael Stevens still has some work to do, but not much. He pretty much needs to finish in the top 5 to keep his championship ahead of Van der Linde.
In Class T, it's a little closer, but Graham Nathan has got a healthy lead, 25 points, over Gavin Crodnier, his nearest rival, Jacques Joubert, vying for third in the championship.
On the manufacturer's side of things, the points looks like this. Audi taking more wins on the season than anyone else, but in the Class Ts, Volkswagen get themselves up into the 2 spot.
Race winners on the day. From Cape Town, Johan Ferree. Race 2, Michael Stephen. Race 3, Melville Priest.
In the Class Ts, Lee Thompson got the curse off his back, taking wins 1 and 2 in the sprints, and in the endurance race, it was Graham Nathan extending his championship points lead.
For more information on our racing series, log into www.spcc.co.za or tag us on Facebook and Twitter.
Michael Stevens seems to have this championship in control, even though Etienne took back 6 points. It might be too little too late for the BMW, but there is still a chance. The next battle for third position is led by Ferree, but there are 3 Audis lurking to try steal that last podium position from the BMW.
Nathan in Class T had a scare with a technical infringement, which put Crodnier in the lead, but that has been protested and overturned. The VW has 25 points on the Mini, and the Big Show looks confident to take the championship. Crodnier will be aggressive as ever to stick his nose in front, but it will take a mammoth round to dethrone Nathan. We invite you to the last round at Killarney, where champions will be crowned. This is world-class racing. Bridgestone Production Cars.